Today is another day that's a little bit of a tough read, isn't it? It's a whole load of prophecies about nations or cities that are about to be destroyed by God at some stage. And it can be hard to think, okay, well, what can I learn from this passage today? But the Bible always has something to teach us. I don't know about you, but I often find myself being forgetful. I know people who are a lot more forgetful than me, but I'm pretty forgetful as well. And so I'll forget people's birthdays. I'll forget people's names. I'll forget all sorts of stuff. And one of the things that I find myself forgetting more than anything else are the good things that God has done for me. I'll forget the way that He's brought me to new life. I'll forget the way that He's forgiven all my sins. I'll forget the way that He's just provided me with so much. And actually, some of the Psalms address this when they say, "Don't forget God. Forget not all His benefits. He who heals all your diseases and forgives all your iniquities." And they exhort us to remember God. And here we see that these nations and the people of Israel have done on a very big scale what we often do on a daily basis. It says in verse 10 of chapter 17, "You have forgotten God your Saviour. You have not remembered the rock, your fortress." And then it goes on and says that there are consequences to that happening. In this case, it's that they will be ineffective. They will plant vineyards that might look nice, but no real fruit will come of them. They'll find themselves in a place of pain, and they'll find themselves in trouble. When we forget God, when we are not close to Him, there are consequences to that. And although God never forgets us, and He never turns His back on us, the more we drift away from Him, I think the less effective we become as His followers. And so we might look pretty on the surface, like a vineyard that's just got loads of kind of buds on the vines, but we won't actually bear much fruit for His kingdom. And so the solution to this is to not forget God. It's to remember Him. And just take the verse and reverse it. You have remembered God your Saviour. You have remembered the rock. You have remembered your fortress. Today, to know God as a Saviour, a little bit will require saying to Him, "I trust you that you're going to save me. I trust that you've forgiven me. Thank you for doing that." To remember Him as your rock will be, again, you're the safe place for me. You're the steady, sure, solid foundation of my life. You're immovable in my priorities. You are the basis on which I'm building my identity. To know Him as your fortress is to know Him as protector, the one who can protect your heart when it feels fragile, the one who can protect your life even when it needs protecting. Turn to God today, remember Him, and just as there are consequences when we forget Him, so the benefits of drawing near to Him are immeasurable.